Hi, a lot of people have a question. What church do I join? What denomination should I be? You have Baptist, Presbyterian, Methodist, Wesleyan, Catholic, and then you have like Mormons, and Jehovah Witnesses. So like, which one do you join? What church do you pick on your phone? There's the Church of Christ, Lutheran Church, whatever. Well, I'll explain to you what I've come to learn. Well, Christianity is pretty much made up of Protestants and Catholics, and then I think there's like independent churches, um, which all claim to be Bible-believing churches. Every church believes to be a Bible-believing churches. Every church claims to be Bible-believing churches, and I believe that they pretty much are. The Catholics, I think, are saved. I think Protestants are saved. However, you get into Mormonism and Jehovah Witnesses, they are definitely not saved. Those are cults. You do not want to be a part of those. The enemy has been deceiving people ever since. I think in early history, I mean, people had problems with the Trinitarian view, thinking Jesus isn't divine, he's not a deity, he's just man. I mean, this was stuff the enemy was doing this since the first century, and the church came out with these creeds, and they profess their faith, and it's clearly stated in the first three, and this is like the third or fourth century. Jesus is God. He is just like the Father is God. The Holy Spirit is God. They will have Trinitarian faiths, but I mean, these churches came out. The enemy's been deceiving people. These churches came out proclaiming they're the true Church of God, and they totally rejected Christian teachings, and they're good at it. They're deceiving people. The Mormons, they come door to door and they knock and say, "Hey, we're the true Church of Jesus Christ. Join our church." The Bible talks about false prophets, false teachers who bring upon swift destruction upon themselves over and over and over again. Jesus talks about it. Paul talks about it. Peter talks about it. I'm sure John talks about it. Just everyone in the New Testament just firmly believes that like there would be people who would deviate from the true faith and start believing ridiculous things. Now you have one church over here that believes, oh, we believe like the rapture is before the tribulation, and another believes that the rapture is like at the end of the tribulation, 7 years in Revelations. Well, this may not matter a whole lot. I don't think that that's real important, but you start like your faith starts saying things like Jesus isn't God, or that there's many gods out there and we're going to become one day. That's what the Mormons firmly believe in their heart, and they're definitely wrong. It's obvious from reading the Bible. I mean, just there's one God. I mean, they think they're going to become exactly like God one day. Going to have their own. They can create their own things just like the Father. I mean, this is blasphemy. This is Lucifer, when he fell from heaven, said that he would set himself he would be like the Most High. This is from Isaiah, that he would become like the Most High. This is exactly what the Mormons believe, that they're going to become like the Most High. I mean, but yet the enemy deceives them, and they're not born again. And the Bible is pretty clear about hell being a place of punishment. This is traditional Christian belief for 2,000 years. Jesus believed it. Paul believed it. John believed it. I mean, it's in a lot of the books of the New Testament over and over and over again. Thessalonians. I mean, we can pretty much go through almost. I mean, it's probably in every other book of the New Testament. Just hell is a place of torment. It's a place of punishment, because sin has to be punished by a just God. But the Jehovah Witnesses and the Mormons believe, they're both very similar. They don't believe hell is real. The Jehovah Witnesses believe that people just stop existing, including like 90% of them or more are gonna like stop existing, because they started out with this cult. They believe that like only 144,000 are gonna go to be with God, and the rest are gonna like go to hell or die. No, they don't believe in hell. That's what when the Bible talks, when it says death, like the path to destruction or death is very broad. Jesus said something like that. He's talking about hell. He mentions hell over and over again. He tells the story of Lazarus being in hell, and he was in torment, and he wanted a drink, a drop of water, because it was that bad. Jehovah's Witnesses completely reject this idea. They had no special revelation from God. There was just one guy who interpreted the Bible his own way, named Charles Taze Russell, a couple hundred years ago, and decided, you know what? And Mormons are very similar, actually. There's a couple hundred years ago, a guy named Joseph Smith was like, you know what? God, he was a liar. God gave me this revelation. He didn't want me to join any other churches, and the gospel wasn't true, and the gospel wasn't full enough, and so God gave him like the restored gospel. And this is what you have the Mormons going around preaching. We have the restored, the full gospel. These are the people who believe they're going to become gods one day. So back to my point, Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses, stay away. Tell people to stay away. That's a ticket to hell right there. If you wanna join their thing, that's what God is heavily against. These deeds of these churches, what they do, go around deceiving people. They're very nice. They're very friendly, super humble, super kind. Deceive. They're not born again. You have to stay away from Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses. And just anybody who tells you like hell is not real, or anything like that. The truth is not. They don't have the truth about that. That being said, there's a lot of people who believe Catholics are going to hell, or some Catholics believe that Protestants are going to hell. That's not true. I mean, I've heard and seen many miracles in Protestant churches and in Catholic churches. So I mean, how could I say that I mean, the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses they don't have any miracles. They don't have any of that. And that's true. I talked to them about it. I've talked to over 10 Mormon missionaries about what they believe. They tell me unified things. They don't have like tongues. Like tongues is a Christian thing. It's biblical. Paul wrote more than 2/3 of the New Testament, and he said he spoke in tongues more than everybody in the Corinthian church, and fine people in the Corinth church spoke in tongues. I speak in tongues. I have lots of friends that speak in tongues. It's a biblical thing, but you won't find one person in the Mormon church that would genuinely speaks in tongues or has the gift of healing or any of the spiritual gifts that Paul talks about. And the same with the Jehovah's Witness church. It's because the signs Jesus said in Mark 16 verses 17-18. He said, these are the signs that follow them that believe. He was talking about Christians. He was talking about his people. Casting out demons would be one. And this happens very frequently, believe it or not. Just get on YouTube. Just type in casting out demons. There's church after church. But yet you won't find one true exorcism, which is just casting out a demon. You won't find one true person casting out a demon like Jesus did in a Mormon or Jehovah's Witness church. It's because they're not saved. They're deceived. You want to stay away from these false teachers that the Bible talks about over and over and over again. The Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Jesus is like the Michael the Archangel. In Hebrews 1, that's a clear contradiction. Jesus is God. He's not an angel, nor was he ever an angel. John 1:1 says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So right there, they say they believe in the Bible. In fact, the Jehovah's Witnesses actually have another translation of the Bible, and they specifically changed John 1:1 so that it would line up with what they believe. Probably because so many people were against them. So yeah, So what? Back to the point. What Christian denomination do you be? As far as like Presbyterian, Catholic, Baptist, non-denominational, I can't tell you if God would rather you be a Presbyterian than a Baptist. um, or non-denominational, I believe that you can be saved going to uh, either one of those churches. You have to be a follower of Christ. You have to obey. You have to obey God, and uh, stay away from these false teachers, Mormons and Jehovah Witnesses. Other than that, if you want to be Catholic, if you want to be Presbyterian, if you want to be Methodist, or any of the Protestant or Catholic faith, that's to get to heaven. So